Hi, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk about the new Luffy and Ace leader, structure deck 30. And first I'm going to show you the new cards. Then I'm going to show you some gameplay against the new OP16 leaders. And then I'm going to talk about what I think of the deck. So first things first, the new leader. First effect is if you have a character with an original power of 7k or more, gives this leader minus 2k. So this restriction restrict us from playing anything above 7k. You could play finisher like the Gold Watcher, but this deck don't need it. I come up to this in a second. And the important effect, opponents still give all your podcast DAs and Monkey D. Luffy's plus 3k. So that way, if you play like the Luffy Ace, they can't really remove them from the field because they are 9k buddies. And especially in the early game, they simply stick on board. They try to go on leader, but because it's a 4 life, 6k leader, it's also hard to swing at leader, and that's like the game plan of the deck. Also, we play a lot of 6ks to get the most of the plus 3k on the opponent's turn. And because of these two one cost, so we play two Namis because we have a lot of Luffy's, and this is a Straw Hat event, this is Straw Hat. Then we play for Inazuma, top 5 search for a 6k. This card is really nice because it's really versatile. You can search 6k you need. There's a new Ace, a new Luffy, Bonnie, Law, and so on. And the new Ivankov is it's really powerful. You maybe will 2 character with 6k, draw 3, trash 2. So this filters your hand a lot. And this allows you to play situational cards for certain matchups because in the matchup you don't need it, you can simply trash them. And because you play so many non-counters, you can also manage it. Even in the late game, you can Ivankov to get more counters to survive another turn, for example. So then we play to Frankie, 2k, but 2k Frankie, sorry. So when your opponent activates an event this turn, all your character gain plus 2k. It's for Anil, it's a 2k, it's Straw Hat, and that's really powerful. Then I want to talk about the forecast or 6k power Aces and Luffy. First we have this vanilla. You maybe wonder why we play a vanilla, but we play a vanilla because of this card. Up to one of the leader character card gain plus 3k. Then if you have an Ace and Luffy character with 6k base power, draw one card, and that's why you always want to have Ace and Luffy on board as quickly as possible. So then this new card is really powerful. The new focus 6k Ace. On play, you may waste one of your dawns. This character can rush. When attacking, reduce one of your opponent's character minus 1k. And the new focus 6k Luffy, really powerful card. Again, on play, you may waste one of your dawn cards. This character can rush. And with one of your opponent's character with blocker. So this character gain rush, and then you can west a blocker, and it doesn't restrict you on cost. Against Blackbeard, for example, which will be important in OP16, you can west the 10 cost blocker with it, which is really powerful. So then we play 5 cost 6k, 2k Usopp is the 2k, which is searchable with these two, and you can reveal it with this card and the 2k. I never played this out once, but it's a 2k which is really searchable, which is always a good thing. And you need to have a lot of 6k, so Ivankov always have the effect. Then we play 2 Ace. Also 5 plus 6k has rush. And once per turn, when this card would be removed, you can minus 2 cases, which is really good with the leader, because normally it would go to 4k and then you go into it, but with the leader it's only go from 9k to 7k, which is still not really removable. For even more pressure, we play out the 5-cost Luffy, Rush, give a Wasted Dawn and attack. As you can see, we play a lot of Rush characters. This is the game plan. You rush on your opponent, they can't remove your board. They try to go on leader, but you have a lot of counter, you have a lot of ways to filter your hand for counter and more aggressive plays, and that's how the deck wins the game. Another aggro card is this 2K, Mr. 3. You may rest this character, give up to 2 of your characters with a base cost of 6K, up to 2 rested Dawn card each. So this is really good card because at worst it's a 2K and you can use it to finish your opponent, and there is a 2 cost which give your characters like 4K power. Then we play one 4-cost Nami. You know the combo with Luna. This is really powerful, also a blocker, and because we play a lot of events, the recent effect is also really powerful in here. The Luffy we already gone over. This is 5-cost 6K blocker bunny. On play, when you have 8 or more rested cards, for 2 discard 1. This is a target for the law. The law, of course, is a really powerful card because you play so many 5-cost and 4-cost. You can simply bounce one of these 10 1-drops for the law and then play out either 5-cost Luffy. You can play out the Bonnie to draw 2 and discard 1. You can play out the Yasuo, which give your leader plus 1K. So really versatile card. And the good thing is they come in Wested, which is normally not that great, but because of the leader ability, if you play out a 5-cost 9K West character, you don't really have a problem that it gets removed or anything. Then we play one Brook, on play Wested card, which is always nice. And active main, you can trash it, and then one of your character can attack again, which is really good with this card, for example, because that way you can like with 3 blockers, or you can even play out the Brook when you have the 5-cost Luffy and get 2 times the when attacking effect. It's really powerful if you try to finish for game. And as you can see, also with the Mr. 3, you can put a lot of damage on your opponent's leader. So there is no translation yet in the app, but this card said on play you can rest a 4-cost or lower. And it's a blocker, which is really important because this leader gives your character plus VK on your opponent's turn. So this is a 5-cost 8K blocker, which is also a Luffy for the name. This is really powerful. This event we can already over. It's really strong card because you simply draw a card and get 3K counter for your leader. And it buys you so much time and gives you so much advantage. And then the all good green cards. First, I know you're strong, so I will go out. So I will go all out from the start. You may rest 2 of your Dawn, so 3 Dawn resting for freezing 2 7-cost, really powerful, and 3K counter. And Luna freeze the board with 7-cost or less. This card against this deck is really powerful, but I'm gonna show you how you can play around it a little bit. But yeah, that's for the deck list. Of course, you can play a lot of different cards. You just have to look out that it's not 6K or more. But for example, some players aim that reduce a character to 0, 7-cost, 6K, but I don't like it because it's a little bit too slow, and I don't see what I should cut for it because at that point you want to do other things. But I'm gonna explain to you the curve now with gameplay. So first new gameplay is that the new Yamato, which also an exciting leader. If I should make a video about this leader, please let me know. So on 2 we want to play out the Ponka searchers, either the Nami Inazuma or the Ivankov. That way we can get our curve really going. This deck almost always want to go second because you play a lot of forecast characters, and that way on 6 turn you already have one Luffy and one Ace on field, or you can even on 6 turn use your Law, bounce your Inazuma or whatever, and then play out another body. That way you have like 5 cost bodies on your 6 turns, which is like pretty powerful. So yeah, here 8k into leader. Then here we play out one of the ace. I thought here for a second. I think this was a misplay. I should play out the non-counter. In this match up, the -1 don't come up too often because you more go into life because you can't really remove the 8 cost bodies. But they also can't remove your board, and I think your deck is a little bit faster than Yamato's or have more power than Yamato. So I wanted to play off the 4 cost vanilla, so I have another washer for my 8 turns, but of course you can draw into so much good stuff. Here that's what I explained. We bounce the 1 cost for the with the law, and now we have the 5 cost Luffy. Of course it's not optimal to have a washer come invested, but now it's also a 9k. Normally your opponent really wants to swing a board in this situation, but they can't. They only can swing into life. We have a big hand size, so we can counter it out or even take if we want. Because the 1 cost event is so powerful, you can even go to 1 life a lot of the times. Because we counter, draw another card, and still have a huge hand. And because we play a lot of events, it's really easy to counter. So here come out the new 6 cost Yamato, which is a great card in my opinion, but let's see what more comes out for this deck. I think if it's only these two 8 costs, it's not consistent enough, but I'm pretty sure they will drop another 8 costs, and then I want to look more into the leader when all the cards are revealed. So yeah, 8k into life. We take this, I think. Yes, another event. So next turn we let some dons open for it. 6k, we simply can 1k or 2k. Doesn't really matter. We discuss the Frankie as a 2k because in this matchup it's not as so important, but it's important against stuff like Ino, for example. And it's also a target for the Nami. So yeah, here I do another Ivankov, play it out, filter my hand, play another law, or first attack. So first we're gonna see how much counter. They they let the character die, which means okay, maybe they don't want to defend it or don't have enough counter for it, but that way we don't really have a fear for the next turn. Oh yeah, this was the game where I did a misplay. In this build I placed a 2k Megalo that on play you can rest this character and destroy an 8 power or less, but I forgot that it has to come in active to actually use this effect. Of course, otherwise I wanted to play out the one. So yeah, 6k into lead. I really like 6k into Yamato because it seems they don't play too many 2k counters. Yeah, another 6 Yamato, that's all they do for now. Play out the 8 cost or to discard one. Also a powerful effect. So they can swing into life. When they only swing 8, we have one event. That's even draws us a card. That's into board. We don't care about the board because You can remove our non-Luffy aces, but as long as we have Luffy ace, we are more than fine. And now here a 9k counter with one card, and we even get to draw another one. And because the deck draws so many times, you often see 2 to 3 times the event in one game. The new ace, which can pressure the leader and the board at the same time, which I really like. Here 6k into board, get a 2k, and I don't know if it's here, but at some point, yeah, here they don't have any 2Ks left, and then 6K is really powerful. So now even can swing 7K. I can counter this out, but yeah. But no, we don't have to go for game, of course, because we have a big hand. Here I'm thinking, but yeah, we can play out even the Bonnie. The Bonnie gives us one Dawn active, so we can even filter out we can even play out the event in the opponent's turn. What we have to be careful about, they have an 8 cost unblockable Yamato that gain Rush, but that's not such a big deal as long as we defend our last life or simply block one of the bigger swings with the non-unblockable characters and leader. So here I'm thinking if I should block, but there are enough possibility to block later on. So we're going to play out the event and drop a 1k, 8k swing. And yes, I think I can fast forward this game. 7 into lead. 7 into lead, one card in hand. And yeah, there it is. Game on the board. So the next game is going to be against the new Blackbeard leader. The new Blackbeard leader is black and yellow. And what you can do is you can discard a trigger card from your hand and redirect one of the opponent's attack into one of your Blackbeard type character or leader. So pretty similar to the OP14 Doflamingo, but in my opinion even stronger. This deck is also considered the strongest deck of the format as far as I heard of, because you have the really good Blackbeard cards from the already good Black leader and really powerful new cards. So I don't think I can explain all of them, but the smaller stuff said, okay, I'll draw one card into one other things, like destroy a 2 cost, give your leader plus 2k, and other stuff. So this matchup we want to go fast. So because the longer the game goes, the more difficult it will become for us, because we can't move their big bodies, and swinging in life can be difficult because they can always redirect. So in this matchup, the most important card, of course, is the new focus Luffy to rest their tankers, but we have to hold it in hand, because as long as they don't play it out, if it's on board, they can like nullify the leader and then negate the effect of the 4 core 6k Luffy that would rest the tankers, and when it can't attack, it of course also can't rest the tankers. So that's why we hold it in hand here. So yeah, we couldn't play out something early, but happens. the deck can still come back even stronger. So here I'm thinking if I want to play also 2 costs in 4K or simply a 4K. So this, I don't think this swing was fine. So here's the 8K blocker, so we can buy us a little bit time because we are low on life. But but I don't think it was a correct play because we are pretty low on pressure. Because the 5K, 8K blocker, it's only a 5K in our turn. But yeah. So they swing 5 into our 2K, that's of course is fine. But maybe we could have blocked it because the 3 cost character says that it can copy the attack points of a character, which is really powerful. Not a new 6 cost. I don't know how the characters pronounce. I show you Wayne. So can um, that can gain a life. So you put one of your Blackbeard type character from your trash on top of your life, and on trigger it simply has a draw 2, which is also powerful, and 6 cost 8K buddy. Yay! So really powerful card to play on curve. But we also have powerful cards here. So here I'm searching for the law to bounce it back and then play out something else, or pressure with a lot of rush character. We see here 3 lives and only 5 cards in hand. We have 11 cards in hand. That's of course it's pretty powerful. Sadly, we only have here 2 Luffys, which is not that optimal. Here I decide to swing with the 8 cost blocker. Because we really want to remove this character, and I think that's the best way. He probably gonna redirect into life. Yes. But now we can swing 9 into 7. And I don't think he want to defend it. So next it's can't really see here, it's probably 8 costs. 8 on turn. No. Whenever, but they want to play another Shoyu Wayne probably, or find something bigger. Yes, here's another Shoyu Wayne. And nice, then 9 cost turn. So they discard 1 10 cost. And I think if they play out the 10 cost, we have a good chance to win the game. My idea here is to find something so we can rest the 2 characters the next turn, bait him into go for lethal, but he didn't try to go for lethal, so we have to wait another turn. Yeah, I'm thinking, what do I want to discard? But the 1K counter, 5 cost ace is enough. 9K into 6, we discard double 2K. And we still have a lot of cards in hand. So here we can decide either we go for a life or for board. I think first I want to play out the Ivankov, look if I can get something out of it. We get 2 events, so even though the 5 cost 6K Rush Luffy is a really powerful card, we want to get 1 ace on the board. Which we at the moment don't have, so that's not so nice. I don't know if I discarded it. Yeah, I discarded 1 ace. Maybe that wasn't the move then, because now the the ability isn't as active. And so I have to say I have to rewatch the gameplay on a smaller screen, so sometimes I can't see everything, but I try my best. So yeah, here I want to think if I can go for lethal or if he can go for lethal. Spoiler, he can't. We have a lot of events. So I want to test out what's it gonna do. He's probably gonna to redirect it, but where or not. So yeah, only 2 bites left, so we could even survive another turn if he plays this out correctly. So one play would be play out the Bonnie, because the other Luffy we want to hold in our hands in case they play out the Tenkos Blackbeard. Then yeah, another one cost. 2k there I did a little so that way our Bonnie can actually draw and get the Western Dawn. We swing with the 1 cost. Thinking on this card here. But yeah, getting 4, we have an 8 cost blocker, we have 3 events. We can even play out another event cost to even look more into what we need. Showing him the 4 cost Luffy. And even get another one of the great events, but sadly I think I didn't realize it at that game because this was I'm also a bit new to the deck. But yeah, a 3k counter in this situation is always nice because they are low on hand size. If they play also 10 cost, they only can attack once, but they have to deal with our board in some way or form. So yeah, you play also 10 cost, or Bonnie can't attack, and our leader is negated. This is really sad because no, I don't have an 8k blocker, and my Luffy and aces are lowered or more on the original power. But we have a lot of counter. The great thing is the event even goes on characters as well. So we can simply drop it. Check our trash. I'm thinking, but playing all this Luffy should be enough. And yeah, we swing 7 into life. And then the opponents quits. So the last gameplay is against Sengoku. Again, we go second. We all want to go second because the first curve doesn't feel so great. But on first curve, you can swing with 6 on your 5 turn. So you also have some plays you can do on your first curve that you can't do on this second curve turns. Sorry for my English. But here we search out the 4 cost Luffy, which is a powerful card because the new Sengoku, you return 8 active turns and play all 3 Admiral. One of the Admiral is a blocker. The other, I think, makes minus 6k on 1 characters, and there are like 3 7 cost 8k characters, so really powerful. But the problem it has is against green stuff like Luna or I know you're strong. But it's a pretty good deck. One important thing also I have to say is these are all new leaders, so if I or my opponent makes some stupid mistake, have that in mind that for all of us, it's probably one of the first few games with the stick. Even though with Ace Luffy I now played a lot of games, but some of the footage, I think most of the footage is from my first few games. See what the leader does. Sadly, at the moment, you can't play it at the Asia rank list, even though I think it's already out in Japan. So we have to go on unlimited, and there sometimes it's hard to find opponent on meta decks. So yeah, he is now at the 9 dawn turn. Sengoku play out the 3/7 curse. But honestly, I don't have much fear. We have our Luffy, we have 2 Luffys, we have good hand size, we have a lot of life. And now I'm waiting what my opponent wants to do. Reduce the 4-cost Luffy to get rid of it. It's of course a great idea because they have a blocker in the Kizaru or Borsalino. So here we can play out either the law into the Bonnie or swing with the 4-cost and west. That one, and I don't know what I do here. Let's again watch together. So yeah, first swing into the 5-cost body. Then do I swing here or do I wait? Come on, swing faster. So yeah, here we're gonna play also low. So I want to skip the boring part here. Play out the Bonnie, draw 2, discard 1, get a 3-dawn back. Then play out the Nami again. We can either pick the event or the Frankie or the Luffy. So here again, we don't have an ace yet, but next turn we probably have one. Oh no, we have to draw into it, but yeah. That's something I need to learn in with this deck, I think, to play out the aces more early. Maybe even play more vanilla ace, because there aren't that many great aces out there yet. Or even play the 5-cost one more time. Or even 4 times. So yeah, here the Bonnie get destroyed. You don't want to defend the Bonnie because it's not a big body. It's the same power as the leader, and most of the time, if you don't want to defend something that has equal power as the leader. Get this really strong event against this matchup. So yeah. So we can freeze next turn to 7-cost, which is really powerful. Swing into the other 7-cost and simply deny the entire turn. So here is a law and law ace. So we could play out the ace, swing into one of the admirals, reduce the power, or even swing into life because low cards in hand, low life cards, of course. Yeah, I'm thinking what to do. If they block, we can freeze the blocker, so that wouldn't be a problem. And we have a ton of counter. So if it blocks, we can freeze the blocker. I already So the but he doesn't block. So with the other two, we have 3 times the event. And now we have Ace and Luffy, so we get the draw. He's at 0 life, so probably has to go for game, especially we have when we have the forecast Queen Luffy that can west one of the opponent's blocker, and he knows that we probably have one sitting at the back, but it's hard to go for game at that point because 7, it's not correct, but even if this would be correct, it's not good enough, I think. So activate the event, get the draw for free. Maybe you can play the 0 cost event, the wet one, because you play a lot of bricks. I thought about it, but I feel like it's not needed enough because it's only for the really big swings. What you can also think is I play something that gives you 4K, and yeah, that was the game. And so I didn't. I simply cut away, but yeah, he sees that he can't kill me this turn, and then it's over. And we win the game. I even had some more footage, but I think that's enough to show you what the deck wants to do and what the deck even can do. So to recap it, or you want to go second with the deck is really aggressive. It's a lot of fun because you simply swing, swing, swing. You have an easy curve, in my opinion. Like on 2, you want to play out your characters. On 4, you play out your ace or Luffy, preferably the ace. And on 6, you play out the law, bounce one of your 1 cost character, and either play out the Bonnie or the 5 cost Luffy. And then the next turn, you want to rush with even more characters, then have enough of the 1 cost characters to filter out your deck for the 1 cost event so they can't kill you, and then simply go really aggressive. So yeah, I think this deck is really powerful. I'm quite surprised that it doesn't have a lot of results in Japan. We're gonna see in the future. We also have to keep in mind in Japan till the end of April, Quasar was still legal. So only now it's more or less the same as a new format. But yeah, I enjoyed the deck. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I all wish you a fantastic day.